What's up, everybody? Today, we will be talking about why you need to learn a second language. Because in such a diversified world, you need to learn another language because you're missing experiences, meeting new people, learning more, and earning more money. So, let's get started. 1. Expand your worldview. If you live in a limited reality, such as a city, you're limited to a certain amount of information. But if you have access to information from another place besides your own, you have the capacity to get more knowledge from them and apply it in your own region. So as an example, if you know Spanish, and you've seen that in Spain, there's a certain type of business that you've never seen. So just by knowing the language and seeing this business opportunity, you get a competitive advantage in the market. And that just because you learned a new language. 2. Meeting new people. If you know a second or a third language, you have the capacity to connect with people from the other countries. And by connecting with them, 1, you get more friends, that's always good. Second, you get their information, what they have learned throughout their life. And you will have access to different backgrounds. Because as an example, somebody who lives in the US has a completely different background than somebody that lives in a third world country such as Thailand, as an example. Their opinions on religions, relationship, life philosophies, and culture overall are diversified. If you have access to those people, their culture, and their information, you can use that in your overall life. Once you have more data sets, because information is always good, and if you have more data sets than anybody else, then you'll be more interesting, you'll be more intelligent, and you have more data to make decisions on. 3. Learn more. By learning another language, you can access their information, their literature, researches, everything. You can have access to a complete different world. And if you are searching for some kind of specific information, it's way better to go directly to the source than to learn from a second or third opinion, which might be biased to the side they want to focus on, or even because there are some languages that it's hard to make a real translation. Like there's some stuff that you need to adapt, and by adapting it in some authors or in some researches, whatever, you lose the veracity of that data set, and by that you might be biased, And by going directly through to the source, you learn the principles of that information. And more than that, you can differentiate yourself. Because if everybody knows any information, it means that you're already late on that. But if only a few people know that information, you can use that as a competitive advantage in business, life, philosophy, relationships, whatever. So overall, it's way better to learn a second or a third language. 4. Earn more money. Besides having the capacity to gain knowledge from different sources, you will overall receive more money if you know another language. If you're an employee, that will help you to get into the international section of the company you work to, making you closer to the big guys, the ones who win the big bucks. And by getting closer to them, you eventually get more money. because you're closer to the ones who make the business deals. But if you're an entrepreneur, that's when it gets good. Because if you can connect an information from one country and apply it on your own, you get a competitive advantage because nobody was looking at it. But you will look because you had that information because you knew the language. Besides that, you can make business deals from your enterprise with foreign companies. Sometimes making it 5, 10, 20 times cheaper than it would be by doing a deal with a national company. And the main thing that you can do is expose your own business to another consumer market, because the language is extremely close to the culture of the place. So if you know their language, you're way closer to their culture and their consumer behavior. So if you know another language, you'll get closer to their consumer market and you can make better marketing focus on that region, and you'll make more money eventually. So that's another reason for you to learn another language. 5, you get more girls. If you speak another language, you'll definitely be more attractive than someone who just speaks English. Girls get crazy when you speak Portuguese, French, or even Italian. I'm a foreigner, so I can speak properly about this. So if any of the previous topics had convinced you to learn another language, this one might be the Kickstarter for you. So overall, in a globalized world as we live in, there's no reason for you to just know how to speak English. There's no reason about it. Even though by knowing English, you can talk to most of the people around the world, because there are a lot of people who are in American but speak English. By knowing their language and their culture, you get closer to them. And by that, you can make more friends, business deals, you get better information, you get closer to the source of the information. And by that, you have access on that information earlier. And overall, you can get girls too. So there's no reason for you to speak another language. And for the ones who are curious, like Bernardo, I don't know which language I will start to learn. I've always wanted to learn another language, but I don't know which one. As we're speaking English, English comes from Latin. And there are a lot of languages that come from Latin too. So, as an example, Portuguese, Spanish, French, Italian, those are one of the languages that are based in Latin. So it's easier for you to learn because the structure of the sentence is almost the same, and there are some words that are similar or even the same ones used in English. So by doing that, by learning those languages, they're similar. It's way easier for you to get it because it's really close to your native language. So before we go, we must announce that our newsletter is live, okay? We'll post every Thursday a new newsletter talking about the wrap-up of the week, everything that we have seen, that we have read, and even listened to, that we feel that will help you to improve your life and help you in your journey of self-development. So the link will be down below, as our affiliate links to a lot of products that will help you reach your full potential, such as candles, books, videos, in our newsletter. Truly, check it out down below. Keep on the grind, guys.